Star, are you ready?
I'm a lady.
And welcome to Idol Days, the show about idol anime. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Star.
And it's time to go off to the races. It's the day of the Kentucky Derby, and we are talking about Uma Musume.
Yeah, so a little bit of backstory. So a few weeks ago, we had a plan for the episode we were going to do after the anniversary. And then, so we were leading into that. And then, like, after we recorded, I think the High School Musical episode, Sarah kind of, like, was like, hey, Star, I have an idea, I have a suggestion. Are you ready for it? And I was like, no, but go on. And she's like, well, the Kentucky Derby is coming up at the end of the month, and it happens, like, either the same day or the day after we release an episode.
Same day.
Okay, because I looked at the date, and I thought it was the day after.
I think it's 2 days of events. But
that would make sense. We're both right.
Yep.
So she was like, hey, so the Kentucky Derby is happening at the end of the month. And I'm like, you motherfucker, you're going to use this as an excuse to do Uma Musume, aren't you? And she said, yes.
Yes. It's horse girl time.
So Sarah's going to be taking the reins on this episode, and telling us about some horse girls that are idols for maybe like 5 minutes of the entire first season.
Well, I would argue that technically they are idols the whole time. They just don't show song and dancing the whole time.
I could pardon that. I could get in on that, yeah. Because, like, listen, they do wear very cute outfits.
They do wear cute outfits.
The cast that you
they
sent
have
me.
Fans. If they win the races, they do idol dance on the stage.
Yeah.
And also the first season of the anime came out with a CD with everyone having image songs. So.
Oh, it did? That's cute.
Yeah, it's really cute. And sometimes their image songs play at the end of every episode. Okay, so for those of you who have not heard of Uma Musume,
what rock have you been living under? But also, Sarah, tell us about these horse girls, please.
So, Uma Musume is about girls who are named after / maybe are physical representations of actual racing horses that raced in Japan or currently are racing in Japan. But they do not look like horses. They look like normal girls. They just have, their ears are on top of their heads like horses. And they have tails. And they love running. And they can run really, really, really fast.
Yep. Horse girls.
Horse squirrels. So that's what these girls are. At some point, the director came out and did like a Q&A about the world of Uma Musume, which people needed.
You talk about.
What? Yeah. So
I know exactly. Yeah.
One thing that helps me just from the way he described it, he's like, think about horse girls like you think about elves in a fantasy genre, right? They're like humans, but they're not humans. They're a separate species almost, but they're humanoid. They should make a horse girl race in D&D, but that's aside the point.
Oh my god!
Put that to the side.
It's like opposite centaur.
So, their horse girls are like elves. And I'll just continue the rest from the Q&A because otherwise these will be weighing on your mind for the rest of the show like they weighed on my mind.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
There are no normal horses in the world of Uma Musume.
So
okay?
Jot that down.
Jot that down. Think about all the wars in the past that had people riding on horses. Nope.
No.
Pulled carriages. Nope.
Nope.
Horse girls are doing that work. Okay?
Cowboys just do not exist.
Speaking of boys, there are no Uma Musume boys.
No.
They are only
girls
horse
only.
girls. Girls only. No boys allowed.
No boy ponies. Get that shit out of here.
The apparently, quote, the fathers of Uma Musume are a secret. Don't think about that one too hard.
Don't think about it.
There are no betting on Uma Musume races. You have to think about it more like people watching a sports show or live entertainment.
I just remember we had an arcade in Shizuoka where I used to live, and every time I would go there, I would like see people betting on the digital race horses.
I think horse racing is actually like one of the few things you can actually like publicly gamble with in Japan.
Yeah, it's something like that, and so that's why so many people are into it because they want to gamble, and that's like their only outlet.
You have gambling, you have pachinko, and you have arcade games.
But listen, if you play the arcade game, sometimes you get a plushie waifu out of it. So
You
I
do
mean,
sometimes get a plushie waifu. And then also, there are other training academies outside the ones that are in the show. This is just like the one in Tokyo. So, like, Crab Girl, Horse Girls, everyone's in Tokyo.
All right.
And the last thing is there are some Musume, because that's the species name, the Musume, who like singing better than running, or vice versa. But at the same time, the way he said that makes it like they either sing or they run or both, but they don't do anything else.
Yep. There are two choices of career path for a horse girl. You either run or you sing.
You sports or idol or both.
Or both.
Because everyone knows the best idols are sports.
Mm-hmm.
As everyone knows. And also, one other quick insert. They had to make an announcement halfway through the show airing. Halfway through the show airing, telling people to stop looting the horses.
Wasn't it because like the people who owned the horses were getting upset?
Yeah, people who owned the horses were getting mad that whenever people searched the horses, there would be all these like sexy pictures of horse girls.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if this is confirmed, but I remember reading somewhere very recently that like a lot of the people who own the horses are like Yakuza, and so they're like,
oh no,
please stop pissing off the people we base these horses off of, because they will come for our assholes.
Yeah. So that is the world of Uma Musume. Uma Musume itself, it was a game announced by Cygames a while before the anime came out. Game still hadn't come out, but then the anime was released, and then recently the game came out, and then also recently season 2. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I didn't see much about the game, and I'm like, I know there is a game about this, like they announced it, but all I ever see is the anime, and then now suddenly I'm seeing a lot of like YouTubers play it.
Yeah, it was very, very recently, within the last few months. Finally, Uma Musume, the game, came out, which again is kind of a combination gacha, horse racing, and idol game.
Yeah, so instead of like actual horses, it's just like cute girls in adorable outfits. Like, can I say, I'm looking at a light up at the cast. Why are they so fucking cute?
They're so cute.
Like, I know that you have cosplayed one of these girls before, with just like, you bought it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they have like their matching uniforms for their horse girl school, but then they also have their racing outfits, which are like decked out, like very cute, would not be out of place on an idol stage.
Yep.
Outfits, and they're fucking precious.
They're so cute. So let me get into the characters, the cast. Like a lot of the other ones based off of mobile games, there's a huge cast, but also like a lot of the other ones, there's really two main characters that you need to think of. Main character number 1 is Special Week. She has brownish hair and brown ears, brown tail, but with like white on her bangs and a little white braid that goes around. And she's I always thought
that the braid was like not her hair. It was just like a weird accessory that she tied in.
Possibly.
It's not shaded like hair. It's shaded like she's just got like a weird fabric braid thing that wraps around the back of her head that makes no sense.
I mean, it's possible. A lot of the girls also, it's just so weird. A lot of them are wearing accessories like horses actually wear, like ear covers, or like one of them has like a bit around her chin. So it's possible it's a braid because she's a horse.
One of them has a crown, just horse girl things.
Just horse girl things. All right, and then the other main character besides Special Week. Oh, in Special Week, she's main character. She has like
Sarah, main character.
She has strong main character energy. She's very happy. Her dream is to be the quote best horse girl in Japan, without any definition on what that means. And we'll get into it, but she's very happy.
She's the Genki Bean.
Genki Bean. Secondary character, the other one that appears a lot, is Silent Suzuka. Her girlfriend, basically. Her girlfriend, Silent Suzuka. She has hair that is the color of a carrot. Special Week likes
Sarah,
carrots. I cracked the code.
You've cracked the code, Sarah.
I cracked the code.
You figured it out.
I figured it out.
We're only 10 minutes into this episode, and you've already cracked the secret
I said that
code.
out loud, and now I understand why they're girlfriends. Okay, but Silent Suzuka has orangish red hair that's like mid-back length. She has orangish tail. She has ears that are covered in like little green things. She looks like a carrot. Everything makes sense now.
She does, now that you've said it like that.
Everything makes sense now.
Like, listen, Sarah, we were already watching a show that's, like, on the surface very cursed because it's about fucking horse girls. Not the verb.
No,
the adjective.
no. If you say that, Star, the Yakuza are gonna get you.
They're gonna come at me. They're gonna come for me. No.
It is not about fucking horse girl.
It's about adjective fucking horse girls. So like it's already cursed, but now that you've like discovered the true
the ship,
the behind the not the gold
not
ship,
the gold ship.
It was another character.
Oh my god, everything makes so much sense.
Yeah, I think we can just call it the episode. I think we've like worked out the entire secret caveat of this show is that special week, main character likes carrots. Her girlfriend, Silent
looks
Shizuka,
like a character.
Looks like a carrot. That's why they're in love.
That's why they're in love.
The psychological hidden reason.
So, but Silent Suzuka, her personality is that she's just very quiet. She doesn't speak a lot, where Special Week talks a lot. But at the same time, she's a very good runner. She is a strong horse girl.
She's like undefeated. Like you watch like the race scenes with her in it, and she's like 100 feet ahead of everybody else, like easily every single time.
Yes.
From what I remember watching the show back when it first came out, and I have not seen it since. So,
and then there is a whole slew of other horse girls, and I'll bring them up maybe as we go, just because otherwise there's going to be too many girls at the beginning.
Yeah, there's quite a few of them, but the important thing to know is that they are all extremely cute.
They are all so cute.
I don't think I have any characters that I dislike in this show, because, like, they're all just such good beans.
They're so good.
They're really, really cute. Like, seriously, just go look at a lineup of all these characters. There's going to be at least one that you just fucking adore.
Yes, and then also with the mobile game, now they have even more outfits.
Even more!
Gosh, even more.
I still want... Okay, so you cosplayed one of the extra characters that's just kind of like side cast in the anime. What's her name? She's the one with the crown.
I cosplayed Daiwa Scarlet, but her bestie is Vodka. Just saying.
Yeah, who kind of has like very similar vibes to Makoto Idolmaster.
Yes.
And I remember that I flipped out on you the day that you told me you chose to be Daiwa Scarlet so that one day you could convince me to cosplay because you knew exactly which character I'd pick, so also fuck you.
And again,
we're gonna do it someday.
You might be thinking again, these are weird names. They're actually the names of horses.
Yeah, like, these are actual, like, real... You know the memes about how people name race horses weird things. All of these characters are named after, like, legitimate actual race horses.
Yes. So just keep that in mind when you hear a weird name, that's why.
I kind of want you to just, like, read out some of the names.
Yeah,
before you introduce the characters.
Just from the other ones that'll come up a few times in the show, there's Tokai Teo. She's short, Genki, kind of gremlin-y. There's Vodka.
I love her, actually. She's very cute.
Yeah, she's very cute. There's Vodka. She's the Makoto vibes. There's Daiwa Scarlet. She has a princess crown and very long orange hair. There's Gold Ship, who we memed about before. Gold Ship's special characteristic is she just eats a lot of food and is really weird. Yep. She has like white hair. There's Meijiro McQueen. She is like the Hime type character, and she has also silvery hair. Yeah. There's El Condor Pasa.
I love her!
I love her. She has the best name. She always wears like this face mask. And she's just a very sporty. She's kind of like a little Hibiki, like Idolmaster Hibiki.
Yeah, definitely.
There's Grass Wonder. She is a very side character, but she also has like the the reddish brown hair. Most of the girls have kind of the color scheme of the horses they're named after.
Yeah.
And then also on this final lineup is Seiun Sky. She has kind of greenish blue hair, actually, but...
It's like very, very light color.
Yes.
But and yeah, it's like a little bit greenish.
Her vibe is just, she's just chill with everything. Win or lose, she's like, yeah. So those are some of the names of the other girls. Yes.
Yeah, we'll go more into depth on them as they show up, but just the names I felt like were important to know.
Yes,
they're interesting.
So, we'll get into the show, shall we?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the show opens with like almost like a picture flip book of like this is the history of horse girls. It's like
Welcome to class, students.
horse
Let's
girls
learn
have
about horse girls.
they have existed as long as humans. Flip page. It is their destiny to run. Flip page. So now you know horse girls existed forever. They're not a new phenomenon, and they love to run.
They gotta go fast.
They gotta go fast. And then we meet Special Week, our main character. And she is on her way to her new school in Tokyo. She's a transfer student. She lived in the countryside, but now she's going to like this elite horse girl academy. Almost immediately, which is kind of a nice way to introduce the world. Of course, they had the obvious, like, this is a flip book about horse girls, but she's like sitting there on the train, and there's a very obvious, like, human mom and child, and they're like, oh, look, there's a horse girl. I wonder if she's fast, which immediately you're like, okay, there's humans here, and they know what horse girls are. So this is already a different world. But so Special Week's on the train. She's very excited about going to her new school. But then she gets off at the wrong stop. And the train station person's like, oh, yeah, you got to get back on the train. And there's like a switch because we're in Tokyo and there's all these separate train systems. And then Special Week's like, nah, I can just go to the school on my own. And then she runs really fast. And you're like, wow, Special Week is so good at running.
Yeah, like she's passing people, and they're just like, whoa, holy shit.
Which is like, you probably could have run to the school, I guess. You didn't have to.
Well, I mean,
it's far.
Wasn't she from like Hokkaido or something?
Yeah, she's from Hokkaido. She's from very
That's
far
like
away.
halfway across the literal country.
That's true, but she's fast.
Yeah, but you wouldn't want to run that whole way.
That's true. You could take a horse out. That's true. That's true.
They still put horses in cars to drive them places.
That's true.
I see them a lot on the road in Texas.
I used to say I saw a horse on the highway the other day.
Like in a carrier or just on the highway?
No, on the highway. It got like the car broke down or something, so they took the horse out of the trailer, and there's just a horse standing on the side of the highway with their person. I'm like, hey, horse.
Huh? Horse.
Anyways, so she runs really fast. She gets to the school, and then the school has this giant racetrack outside. And you're like, this is definitely horse girl school. And Special Week is like, what? This is amazing. Best school ever. Also to note, the school design is based off of an actual race course in Tokyo for horses. So they're just kind of...
I love how many times you tried to, like, mix in different words in that sentence.
Race course, race horse.
Horse race for horse girl, horse school.
Horse.
Horse school for horses.
The horse school for horses.
Horse girl for horse school.
It's also an actual important racetrack in Tokyo for horses. Not
you make
just
fun of
horse
me for
squirrels.
idol Aster. I'm gonna make fun
horse
of you for
squirrels.
horse squirrel for horse schools.
Horse squirrels for horse schools. And when she shows up, there is a race going on. And Special Week is like, this is like, because again, she's from Hokkaido. There's not a lot of horse girl races there, I guess. And so this is her first time really seeing a race in person. And on the track is Silent Suzuka. And Silent Suzuka is doing this like crazy, like she's like 5. Okay, they still call it horse lengths ahead of someone,
but they're girls.
But they stand upright, so I don't know.
Like horse length is not actually. It would be like maybe a foot, or depending on how. Wide these girls
unless
are.
They're thinking about like the horse girl height, but they're not running. Don't think about it too hard.
Don't think about it.
So, but she's like 5 lengths ahead of everyone else. And Special Week, she's like, eyes on Suzuka. I'm immediately in love. Look at this carrot horse girl running across. I want to be able to race alongside her.
I want to race alongside that carrot.
That carrot. And then Suzuka wins. Not a surprise. And everyone's like, yeah, Silent Suzuka. And Special Week's like, I am so excited to be on that racetrack and to run alongside all of these other horses. And then you find out that since Silent Suzuka won, she gets to be in the iDOL concert.
Ooh, yeah. So this is the caveat.
This is the caveat. So, like, I don't definitely know the first time I watched this, I was not expecting them to also be idols. It was just like, okay,
Yeah.
because this is episode 1. Like, you're processing, okay, there's horse girls. They run really fast. Horses don't exist. There's this really fast horse girl. Also, they're idols.
Yep. Because everything can be idols if you just shove it in there.
Yep. So, apparently, for every race, the first, second, third place at least get to go on stage and do an idol show.
Mm-hmm.
And then the whole audience who was watching the horse race, they all take out their light sticks and they're like, "Yep, let's woe to this horse song because all the girls are also idols in the sense that it looks like the audience members have like favorites, and it's so weird." But so Special Week is there. She's watching Suzuka on stage, and she's like, "One day I want to be on that stage too."
Mm-hmm.
I want to run. I want to be on that stage. I want to be a horse running girl, idol, best girl. Just like Suzuka.
Mm-hmm. I
And
want
then-
to go fast.
And then there's like a creepy scene that happens reoccurring. But it also there's this whole horse girl line where Special Weeks gets her calves filled up by a guy, and it turns out it's the trainer, and he's like, nice legs, you're good at running. And then she kicks him. And he's like, yep, you'll be great at running. And you're like, was that necessary?
Yeah.
So that's when you meet the trainer for Spica, which is the horse girl group that she eventually joins.
Yeah, it's weird.
Subunit? I don't know. We'll call it a subunit for this. There's episode 1. There are her horse girls. They are idols, so they need to run well, but they're also expected to sing well.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where we are. So the next day at school, same episode, Special Week gets to school. I think she runs late with a carrot in her mouth, which I think is pretty clever.
It's cute, but like...
But really. And then she goes into the classroom and she meets all of her classmates. And she's like, wow, I've never seen this many horse girls in the same place. It's so exciting. She makes some friends immediately, including a few that we mentioned before, and one that I hadn't mentioned, who's Haru. She has pink hair, but her personality is that she likes being a horse girl, but she's not super into racing, so she ends up influencing a little bit later. But all the girls are like, hey, Special Week, you showed up on the right day, because it's actually tryout day for Team Regal, which is one of the other horse girl team subunits that are at this school. And that's the one Silent Suzuka is in. And Special Week's like, did you say Silent Suzuka? I want to be on the team with her. Ooh. So immediately after class, they all go to tryouts, her and her new friends. And the leader of Team Regal goes around and asks all the girls, like, why do you want to be a part of Team Regal? What's your goal? And some of the other girls are like, I want to win this specific race, or I want to train to be this fast. And Special Week is like, I want to be the best horse girl in Japan. And the leader's like, so what does that mean specifically? Either way, they all do their tryouts. They all get in their little, like in actual horse races, how they all have like the little fenced in area to keep the horses from running because they're animals. They have those that they stand in, but they're still shaped for like actual horses. So... So they all do their running tryouts. Special Week has no idea how this works because she's never run on a race course before. She does not end up first place. Alejandra Pasa does, so one of her new friends does.
Good bean.
Good bean. And Special Week, she leaves the tryouts feeling a little down, like, oh, I really wanted to race in the same team as Suzuka. I'm a little bummed out. And then she gets kidnapped.
Oh!
Immediately. This first episode was just like, because I remember watching this for the first time and I was just so overwhelmed because it's like, there's just this world. Like, there's the anime weird stuff, but then there's also like, what are we doing?
It's kind of a trip, certainly.
It's definitely a trip. So Special Week is kidnapped and she ends up in this room. You find out she was kidnapped by Goldship, the kind of weird one that likes eating a lot. And I think Daiwa Scarlet and Vodka also helped Goldship kidnap her. I could be wrong.
Yep.
And the room that she was taken to is the headquarters for Team Spica, the one with the creepy guy from before.
Yep.
And he's like, hey, Goldship and everyone wanted us to kidnap you, and also I wanted to kidnap you to force you to join Team Spica because you're really, really good. And Special Week's like, maybe, okay. And then she looks to the side, and Silent Suzuka's there. The girl?
Plot twist.
And apparently Suzuka's like, yeah, I decided to switch teams, and that open spot on Team Regal is actually because I left Team Regal today. Oh. And then Special Week's like, oh, well, if you're on this team, then heck yeah, I'll join this team.
Because you're my fucking girlfriend.
Because you look like a carrot.
Immediately.
Immediately, my girlfriend.
I have just met you, and I love you.
And I love you. And so trainer's like, I heard you say during your tryouts during Team Regal, I overheard you say you wanted to be the best horse girl in Japan. I need you to be serious, and I want you to start thinking as you're training, what does it really mean for you to be the best horse girl in Japan? Right? And then meanwhile, Silent Suzuka, well, what's your overall goal here? And Suzuka's like, I just want to be a horse girl that makes people dream and makes people want to follow their dreams.
Which is also very nebulous.
Very vague. And Special Week's already like, you already did that, girl. Come here. And then at the very end of the episode, the trainer announces, like, well, now that I got you here and I kidnapped you, Special Week, you're debuting next week in your first ever race ever. Dun, 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 dun. Here we are. There's a lot that happens in the first episode. You meet a lot of characters. You find out that there's a world where horses don't exist, but horse girls do exist. It's a lot. And also Silent Suzuka and Special Week are already in love.
Oh, yeah.
Already.
Girlfriends. Horse girlfriends.
The episode ends with the opening, which is just like a very cute, like, iDOL sounding song. It's like da 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 da. It's so cute. It's so cute. It's all sparkly. It's good. So, episode 1. Sporkle. Episode 2 picks up exactly where we left off, and it's Special Week walking back to the dorms with Silent Suzuka. And basically the whole walk, Special Week's like, I saw you when I first got here. You're amazing. You're so fast. You're the best horse girl ever. I want to run with you. Just like gush, 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 gush about Silent Suzuka. And then they walk into the dorm room. Special Week's last night, I guess she had to stay in a temporary room because she showed up late. But she gets assigned her dorm, and turns out her roommate is Silent Suzuka.
Oh, shit!
They were roommates!
Oh my god, they were roommates.
Oh my god, they were roommates. So, basically, perfect arrangement for them. Suzuka seems happy about it. Special Week is more than happy about it. Here we are, already living together on the first day.
Oh, yeah.
So next day at school, Special Week goes to her classes officially. All of the classes are horse girl related. So it's like history of horse girls or like historic horse girl races. And you're like, do you guys learn math? I don't know.
Math for horse girls.
Math for horse girls.
If Tommy wait, no, there's no horse boys. Tommy can be a girl's name. If Tommy has 12 carrots and he gives Bethany 2, how many carrots does Tommy have?
Important questions.
Important horse girl math.
In this episode, you do also meet some more side characters. You meet Tokai Teo, the little cute gremlin-y one. She's gremlin-y but she's not like full Nico, you know?
Yeah.
You also meet the president or the president of the student council, I assume. who is Tokai Teo's girlfriend. All of them are paired off, really.
Yeah.
It's basically, just a lot of like, here's some characters, and you could definitely tell that they were trying to pander to some people who I guess in the future would play the mobile game, because sometimes you get characters for like a one speaking line and then they're gone.
Yep.
So Special Week goes to training with Team Spica. They have some very unconventional sort of training, like they play Twister for a bit to help with flexibility or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
They you also find out that Special Week is from the country before the school. She's never met another horse girl before, and she's absolutely never raced before, except for like the tryouts. That's the only time she's ever raced officially.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, week goes by quick. It's time for Special Week's debut. The day before, the trainer's like, I have no specific instructions for you, Special Week. I just want you to go out there and do what comes natural to you for your first race. And everyone else is like, you're not going to give her any advice. Okay. Okay. That night, Special Week is a little bit nervous before her first race. She's nailing her horseshoes into the bottom of her shoes, because that's what they do.
Shoes.
Of her like racing shoes.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where horseshoes go. They go on the bottom of your real shoes.
Yeah.
So that's that. And Silent Suzuka is like, "Yay, tell me more about yourself, Special Week." Well, what did you mean? Why do you want to be the best in Japan? Like, what's your motivation? Tell me what's inside your Special Week head. And Special Week starts sharing her personal story. She talks about how she had a birth mom who was a horse girl, but her birth mom passed away like shortly after Special Week's childbirth, which is why Special Week has never seen another horse girl before. And she was given to her mom's wife, girlfriend, friend, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's very vague, who is a human woman. And she promised Special Week's birth mom that she would raise Special Week. And Special Week, her whole time, she's like, I want to race fast for my birth mom, who was also a horse girl, but I also want to go fast and be the best for my human mom, who raised me as her own. She's like, I love both my moms. My two moms, great people.
Yep.
There's also like a cute little montage of like Special Week's human mom training her. Like human mom will be like on a bike or a tractor, and Special Week will be like running beside her. And you're like, aw, that's cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little farm girl, horse girl.
Yeah, farm horse girl. But Silent Suzuka's like, wow, that's really sweet. I hope that you become the best in Japan, Special Week, but more than anything, I hope we can race next to each other. And Special Week's like, yeah, I want that too.
Gay.
Yeah. It's like, come on, it's been 2 days, girls. Immediate.
Well, I mean, Sarah, you know the thing about horse girls is that they do go fast.
They do go fast. So it's the day of the debut, the next day. I guess it's been 1 week, right? Because it's been one special week.
It's been.
So the next day, it's the day of the race. Right before the race, so like Special Week is like in the back, like waiting to go out. Silent Suzuka comes up to her and like gives her like her number, like her running bib, because they also have running bibs like actual runners.
Yeah.
It's so confusing. Do people run? Like humans? Do they run in this universe? Like, is running a thing?
I don't know.
How do the Olympics work? Are horse girls excluded?
I mean, I would think they'd have to be if they're a quote-unquote separate species.
Okay. Well, I'll ignore that. We'll don't worry about it.
There's a separate Olympics just for horse girls.
Horse girl Olympics. But anyways, Silent Suzuka gives her her running number and bib and is like, this is the beginning of your dream. You're going to make your moms proud. And it's the start of you fulfilling your promise to them. And Special Week's all like blushy, blushy, blushy. You're like, aw.
Blush, blush, blush.
Blush, blush, blush. And then it's race time. Yeah, everyone in the audience is looking out. They're like, oh, there's this new girl who's debuting. Her name's Special Week. I haven't heard of her before. Maybe I'll place some illegal bets on her since it's not allowed in this universe, and we'll see what happens. And then gates open. It's race time. Special Week off to a slow start. But then at the very end, Special Week's like, her race and instinct cuts in, and she makes her move, and she gets first place in her debut race.
Oh, dang!
Yeah, go Special Week. And she's like, oh my god, I did it. She like the audience is cheering. She's looking around. There's confetti everywhere. And she's like, whoa, I could do this. I could be the best horse girl in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
And then it like almost immediately cuts to the night of the concert. And Special Week goes out on stage. And then the trainer's in the audience. And he looks up. He's like, oh my god, we didn't practice dancing at all.
Yeah, so she kind of beefs it.
She super beefs it. She like doesn't sing at all. She just has like a weird smile on her face, and she's kind of swaying while like second and third place are dancing.
Mm-hmm.
And yep, so she's like internal monologue. I'm like, I'm sorry, Mom. I did not practice dancing at all.
I just practiced the important part of being a horse girl, the horse part. I didn't practice the girl part.
Well, see, that's the thing about horse girls is you got to be horse and girl. So they're sports and idols. It's so important. That's why this is an idol show.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You gotta be good at sports.
At sports. Next episode pretty much opens with Special Week reading the papers where everyone's like, Special Week makes her debut. She wins the race and she sucks at being an idol. And she's like, aww.
It's like, dang it.
Dang it. So you kind of get a little montage where you find out that overall Team Spica is doing well in their races. However, none of them are super good at the idol part.
Mm.
So the trainer is like, hey, I have an idea to help you with being an idol. And he takes them to karaoke. And Tokai Teo's there, the little one who's kind of gremlin-y, not super, but also girlfriend of student council president. And she is apparently very good at the idol part. Oh, and she teaches them how to sing at karaoke, and becoming idol part is now part of their regular training. So hopefully that helps. Then they continue to do their like dancing training. They continue to do their racing training. And then it's time for Special Week's next big race. And in this big race, it's actually notable because this is the first time that she's kind of going head to head with someone who's her friend. And that someone is Seiyun Sky. I kind of mentioned her at the beginning. She's just super chill, like, yeah, no pressure, whatever. I'm good with whatever. And like Special Week and Seiyun Sky, like they have lunches together with their friend Haru. So they're like pretty close. Mm-hmm. So race starts and Special Week's like, I still really, really want to beat Seiyun Sky. But Seiyun Sky, even though she's a chill horse girl, is also a very fast horse girl.
Oh.
So they go off to the races, and Seiyun Sky is first. But then Special Week pulls ahead, and she gets her second win. So Seiyun Sky acts pretty chill. She's like, hey, Special Week, good job. Super chill, super vibey. But like afterwards, you get a scene where Seiyun Sky is like, I'm suddenly fired up and motivated. I want to be a good horse girl too. So you're already getting like the whole like all the girls are inspiring each other sort of vibe. It's just very pure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it's concert day and Special Week can be an idol. She's not the best idol. She dances a little rough, but she knows the lyrics to her songs and she does not make a fool of herself.
Yay, she did it.
Yay, she can idol time. So then at the very after the race, Tokai Teo, the one who helped them do the idol song, says like, hey, can I join Team Spica? And trainer's like, yes, we don't have a lot of horse girls. So there's a new member, which is very exciting. And then we get another race. So this is a 2-race one. And Special Week is getting ready, and because she's won 2 races, the trainer's like, hey, you've been here for a bit, you're doing good, people are noticing you, and also this race is part of the Twinkle Star series, which I guess I didn't research if that's actually the name of a horse race series. I doubt it.
Yeah, it sounds a little bit too girly anime
It
to be an
sounds
actual
too
horse race.
idly, but it's like
But
the
let's
same
find
thing with
out.
like a Triple Crown, right? Like it's a group
Mm-hmm.
of races that's like kind of run by the same organizations, and it's very notable if a certain horse girl slash horse wins all of them. Because of this, the trainer gives Special Week her racing outfit.
Oh, Sarah, it's real. Twinkle Race is
Twinkle
real.
Race is real.
Yeah, I'm Googling. I Googled it, yeah.
Okay, no wonder they decided to make these kids cute idol girls.
Because you got shit called, like, the Twinkle Race.
Yeah, of course they're gonna be idols.
It's like, what the hell? Yeah, I'm looking at, like, top Japan horse racing tips.jp. Or no, wait. Twinkle Star is a horse. Is it a circuit, though? The Tokyo City Keiba track is said to have pioneered the so-called twinkle race phenomena, which sees mounts and their jockeys racing after dark and under floodlights, perfect for the working man or woman about town. Races are held at the track for 5 or 6 days at a time, roughly every 2 to 3 weeks, and usually start around 2 or 3 p.m. The twinkle race is held once each meet, more often than not on a Wednesday, and it just goes on like that for a while. So I guess it's a horse, but it's also a thing.
Wow, incredible.
We have learned.
We've learned. So, apparently, this is part of this twinkle race thing. Because of course it's real.
Of course it's real.
But because it's a big deal, she gets her special racing outfit. So all the girls get unique racing outfits that look like idol outfits. Because, of course, they do. They're not the same as their idol outfits. I just want to mention they do actually change outfits for the concerts at the end. And they tend to have slightly different outfits depending on, I think the girl, they like I think the idol outfit does switch up slightly, but they all still match, whereas their racing outfits are all like separate looking.
Yeah, their racing outfits are very like individually tailored to them.
Yes. And Special Week puts on her idol outfit, and she's like, idol racing outfit, and she's like, oh man, this is gonna make me run so good. I love it so much. But the back of her skirt doesn't close all the way, but she's too embarrassed to mention it. So like the whole time, like she's going out, she walks out to like do her like little wave to the audience before the run, but she's just like thinking about how her skirt's open on the back. And then it's racing time. She never resolves this skirt problem, right? And she's thinking about it constantly. And the race begins. Special Week is against Seiun Sky again, who she was up against and beat earlier in the episode. But then Special Week, Seiun Sky is ahead, and Special Week's trying to catch up, and she tries to make her move. But they start going up this hill, and Special Week just like can't keep up the pace, and she's just thinking about her skirt. She can't beat this hill, and Special Week comes in third. It's her first loss.
Oof.
Yeah. After the race, like she and Suzuka walk home, and Special Week is like trying to keep her smile. She's like, yeah, it's whatever. It's just my first loss. It's fine. But then she's like, hey, Suzuka, I'll catch you back in our dorm later. I need some time to myself. Special Week kind of walks away. And then there's like this like empty like tree trunk that's like hollowed out on the campus. She just like starts screaming into it and crying into it.
No,
and you're like,
baby.
oh, baby. Which again, like, I know this sounds ridiculous, but like already, like, it's a very moving show. Like, it's actually really engrossing. It's a good anime. It sounds so
like,
weird, but it's good.
Because, like, I remember watching this because you told me to, and I'm like, this is going to be so fucking weird, but it was actually very good.
It's very good, because, like, you get a lot of the same tropes as you would in, like, idol animes and sports anime, right? But, like, with the added world-building weirdness, once you get used to it, like, it really is very character-focused. So, like, when someone, like, this is a whole plot about someone feeling bad about losing, even though they feel like they shouldn't feel bad, it's like, that's a trait you can relate to.
Definitely.
Yeah. So she's like crying into the tree trunk. Suzuka like kind of sees her from afar and starts to like step forward, being like, I gotta go comfort my girlfriend. But then the trainer walks up and he sees Special Week crying into the tree trunk, and he's like, excuse me for a second. And then he goes like starts yelling into the tree trunk, it's my fault. I should have trained her better. I should have prepared her more. She's so talented. It's okay. So it's like his own way of reassuring her. And I thought that was very cute. Yeah. So they have a little conversation about how it can be frustrating to lose, but just to focus on getting stronger after a loss rather than dwelling in it. And you're like, oh, a good message for horses and for humans.
Yeah.
Yeah. Episode 4. This has one of those tropes that we get in a lot of idol anime. We've gone in too many idol anime where Special Week is trying to self-diet because she feels bad about not fitting in her uniform. She's overtraining and under-eating. Never good. Y'all, if you're ever in a situation where you feel like you need to diet, you gotta do it in a way that's healthy. Medical professionals involved. Don't just don't just decide things and don't do it on your own, you know?
Yeah, it's bad trope.
Bad trope. But pretty immediately, a lot of the other girls notice that Special Week is doing this. And then they're like, okay, we'll help you in our own way. And also, you know, because this is your first time racing, you gotta realize a lot of this is muscle mass moving around and not like because you're overeating.
Yeah.
So they all help her through that at least, which is nice. Another thing that helps Special Week kind of recover from the frustrating loss is her friend Haru, the little pink-haired one who's not super into racing. I guess she was traveling for a race, and then she comes back, and everyone's like, oh, Haru, how'd you do? And Haru's like, I had so much fun. It was the best. I love running, and I got 5th place. That's the best I've ever gotten. And it kind of, like, gives, like, everyone else, like, oh, hey, maybe you gotta focus on having fun, too.
Yeah.
So then there is some also like mysterious talk between Suzuka and her manager and like the Spica manager about something happening in the fall, and like you as a member and nobody else knows like what is this thing happening in fall. Meanwhile, the trainer's also like, okay, I'm going to start training you Special Week specifically to like help you with the parts that might have made it so you couldn't keep up to Saiyan Sky. And part of that is learning how to go up hills. So like they do like a little thing where like she like has to like listen to the rhythm of the other horse girls around them, and she's like, oh, it takes shorter strides up hills. She also like she gets trained against like a short distance running girl, so she learns how to do like the short distance running. During some of this training, El Condor Paso watches her, and El Condor Paso is like, yes, Special Week, you are my new rival. Also, El Condor Paso does like the her voice is kind of like a Japanese as a second language voice. She's very like Nagi, like, oh, look at you, Special Week. It's very good.
Yeah, she's cute.
She's so cute. I love El Condor Paso.
She's so adorable.
She's so.
I was not expecting to like the one who looks like a professional wrestler all the time, but like
she's a mask.
Cutie.
They're so cute. And then Special Week, just like with all this training and stuff and the inspiration from Haru, later on, a few days later, she's in her dorm and she's talking to Suzuka and she's like, hey, horse racing is so much fun. I'm so happy. And Suzuka, do you enjoy racing too? Do you have the same feeling of fun? And then Suzuka is like silent. She's like, do I? Do I have fun when I race? Question mark. And then also all the girls watch on TV. El Condor Pasa is doing her own race, apparently outside of Tokyo, and she wins. And it's like, wow, El Condor Pasa is so fast. And then it's also announced that, hey, Special Week, you're going to be racing against her soon. And you're like, uh-oh, the rivals. Ooh. Episode 4, or episode 5. 5. So Special Week is training for her race against El Condor Pasa. It's for the Japan Derby. They do like the Love Live training where they're like running up and down the stairs to like help go up hills. So Suzuka and Special Week, like while they're training, they're like, yeah, I can't wait till we can race together. At some point they have like an impromptu, let's both race up the stairs next to each other and see who gets up top first. And like just by them being next to each other, they're going so fast, and the trainer like times them like secretly, and they both like do like record time up the stairs. And he's like, wow, these girlfriend horses. They're so good when they're running next to each other and inspiring each other. Ooh. 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 And then it's race day. Special Week versus El Condor Pasa. all of Team Spica is there. They all encourage Special Week. They give her like a little lucky charm, being like, "Oh, this will help you, Special Week. Don't worry." Alcondra Pasa does not have the support of her whole team there, not all of Team Regal, but the trainer goes up and is like, "You don't need all these other girls to win. You got this, Alcondra Pasa." And Alcondra Pasa is like, "Cool." And then it's race time. Same Sky is also in this race, just to note. So the other like person that Special Week has like a personal interest in surpassing. But they race. In the last like 50 meters, Special Week is like slightly behind. Like Alcondra Pasta is first, Special Week is second, and then Special Week is running. It's like the very end of the race, and then from the corner of her eye, she specifically sees Silent Suzuka cheering for her, and then she's like, "My girlfriend is cheering for me. I gotta break the limit."
Yeah.
And then she runs, and then there's a photo finish between Special Week and Alcondra Pasa, and everyone was like, "Photo finish, this is crazy, who won?" And it turns out they both won. It was a dead heat. There was no determination on who was in front. Alcondra Pasa and Special Week are both first place.
Oh damn.
Special Week also says in her head, like, "My friends at Spica were the carrots at the end of the finish line." Which is very on the nose for a horse thing, but sure.
Whatever, girl.
Alcondra Pasa like hugs Special Week, and she's like, "This is the most fun I've ever had. I'm glad that you're my rival." And then the credits, I assume, is played over what is Alcondra Pasa's theme. So it was very cute. Yeah. So episode 6, halfway through. There's some time has passed. Spica is still doing well. All the girl is doing good. We get a new member, Major McQueen, who I mentioned before, the kind of Hime type. But then episode 6 also is the day of the fan festival. And the way this festival works is it's just kind of think of like a normal like outdoor festival. But almost all the stalls are run by horse girls, and there's performances by horse girls. There's a lot of just like goofy slice of life, silly things that happen. This is definitely the episode where they're like, "Okay, we're going to push all these other like side characters in that people might care about." It really is. But the important thing here is at the end of the day, like it's twilight and Suzuka is talking to Special Week, and she's like, "Thank you so much for coming to the school and being my friend. You've really shown me how horse racing is fun. I used to have fun when I was younger, but then when I got to the school, I started getting burned out because I was like expected to be the best and racing really far, and Team Regal is really harsh. So that's why I quit the team and joined Team Spica. And then also your enthusiasm and the enthusiasm of the other girls helped me regain like the spark I had to want to race for fun." Yeah, which is really cute. And then she says, "Well, because of this, because I had been getting burned out, even though I had joined Team Spica, I had plans to go travel to America to start racing to see if a change of scenery would help. And I'm going to America in the fall."
Oh no!
Dun 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 dun.
My girlfriend is leaving me. No.
I know. And Special Week is like kind of sad that Silent Suzuka's leaving, but she's also like, "Yeah, you got to go to America, and then you have to come back and you have to tell me all about it, and I'm going to encourage you, and you're going to be so good." And it's just so cute.
Yeah.
They're so cute.
Good beans.
And then it is training time for another race, and this one is a race where Silent Suzuka is running. One thing to note, one of their friends, Grass Wonder, apparently at the beginning of, I think the last episode, she comes in with an injury. But at this point, she has recovered from her injury, and so everyone's like encouraging their friend Grass Wonder. So that's the Chekhov's gun there.
Yeah.
Grass Wonder, Silent Suzuka, and Alcondra Pasa, all of them are running. Grass Wonder actually does pretty well despite her injury. She races really well. However, Silent Suzuka keeps her lead the whole time, like even further than Alcondra Pasa, and like while she's running, she also does the same thing as Special Week, where she looks over and sees Special Week cheering for her, and she's like, yeah, I got this, and like wins. And this is El Condorpasa's first loss, so you get like a little bit of the same feeling that Special Week had, where she's happy that she was able to run, and she wants to try harder, but she's devastated on the fact that she lost.
Poor baby.
Yeah, poor El Condorpasa.
These freaking horse girls making me feel things.
I know, why do I feel things? Episode 7. It kind of starts off because there's so many races like going on. Snap, 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 snap. Sometimes like you only hear about races from the side. So there's like just like some small talk where you find out that Special Week recently lost a race, but she's not like devastated like last time. She's like, yeah, I can do better. I'll keep learning. Silent Suzuka's like, hey, the time's coming up soon for me to go to America. And after that, I'll be there for a whole year. So what if we went and asked our trainer if we could run in a race together soon? And the trainer's like, we'll think about it. It all depends on how you do, Suzuka, in your next race, whether or not I'll have you guys race together. I don't want it to be like disadvantageous for anyone.
Oh, I think I remember where this is going.
Yeah. And then it's race day for Silent Suzuka. And Special Week gives Suzuka her lucky charm that the other girls gave her after the one race. And all the girls are cheering her on, and they're all like, this is like one of the last few races we're going to see with Silent Suzuka in Japan for a while. And they're like, okay, Suzuka, you got to do good. You got to win. Silent Suzuka is like, she has in her head, like, if I win this race, I'll be able to run with Special Week. I can show off to everyone in America. And also nowadays I'm having really fun running. It's not just like a job for me. Like, no burnout. Yeah. I'm really happy.
Good for her.
Good for her. And they start running, and then Silent Suzuka is like in the lead by like more than anyone's ever been in the lead before. And then she sees Special Week, and she's like, nah, I'm going to break the limit even more. And she starts running even faster. And then she winces. Ooh. And she starts slowing down and running erratically. And everyone like looks of horror on their faces. And then you kind of see El Condorpasa winning, but nobody's smiling. And you're like, oh no, Silent Suzuka. And then we're in the hospital.
Yep.
And you find out that Suzuka has a leg fracture. Probably, I assume the way they described it, it was not a major fracture, likely a stress fracture.
She ran too hard and too fast.
The trainer like is talking to the doctor, and they're like, I don't know if she'll ever be able to run like the same way she ever did again. But then Special Week, basically at Suzuka's bedside the whole time, is like, don't worry, Suzuka, you broke your leg, but I know that when you recover, you're going to be at 120%. You're going to be better than ever before. And then we're going to run together. All the other girls from Spica show up. They like sign her cast. The manager, or I think one of the other horse girls, talks about how Special Week saved Suzuka's life. Like, she like picked her up when she fell down and kept her from like putting pressure on her leg, because apparently
Because didn't Special Week like actually run out?
Yeah, she ran out onto the racetrack to like ease her running down, so she wasn't like immediate crash. Because apparently horse girls can die if they stop, because they go like 50 miles an hour.
Yeah, they run too fast.
And Suzuka is like sad and shocked by her injury, but she's like, I'm gonna recover so I can keep my promise to Special Week and run alongside her. And then the ending is Suzuka's theme, which you're like, oh no, Suzuka. I remember after this episode aired.
Yes, tell the story, please.
There were so many, like, because, like, you know, like, sometimes I just waste time browsing our anime or, like, other anime forums, and everyone's like, are they, you know what happens when horses break their legs? You're like, oh no!
Are they gonna put her down?
But I guess I was looking it up. Not every horse leg break they do euthanize. It's only major breaks. So the fact that it's a hairline stress fracture saved Suzuka's life. Otherwise, she would have been euthanized.
Yep, they would have had to just take her out back and put her down.
There's just, like, when you start thinking about the further implications, he's just like, is there gelatin in the horse girl world? Like,
oh no, Sarah! Sarah, you can't! Sarah, no! The retired horse girls go to the glue factory.
Oh
Sarah, no! The terrible implications.
So just don't think about it too hard. That's the one thing.
Yeah.
Just don't think too hard.
Just don't think about it too hard, no.
All right, episode 8. Nobody is dead. Thankfully, for now. Special week, you find out she got 3rd in Japan Cup. She's doing good, but also not the best as she's done. She spends most of her time on, like, at Suzuka's bedside because Suzuka stays in the hospital to recover. Which, again, if you think about actual horses, makes sense because if real horses put stress on a broken leg, they could have heart attacks and die. I don't know if that's how it works here, but who knows? So special week, basically all her time, Suzuka's bedside. She, like, ghosts her friends. She doesn't eat lunch with them. She, like, leaves training early just to be next to Suzuka. And you can tell Suzuka is, like, thankful for her company, but also concerned about special week.
Yeah.
And then Suzuka gets discharged from the hospital. She's in a wheelchair at this point. She's still doing, like, rehab. At this point, basically, special week is just, like, babying Suzuka. Like, every time something happens or, like, Suzuka runs a little fast, like, once she starts running again, special week is like, are you okay? Are you okay? Don't put too much pressure on the leg. Like, all of special week's mental energy is going into Suzuka and nothing else.
Yeah.
So at some point, her friend Grass Wonder notices this. And remember, Grass Wonder was the one who also had a leg injury. And she's like, hey, Special Week, you need to, like, why don't you eat lunch with us? And Special Week's like, no, I want to eat lunch with Suzuka. And Grass Wonder's like, no, you eat lunch with me and Sky.
We need to talk.
We need to talk. But Special Week's like, I'll eat lunch with you only if Silent Suzuka can eat lunch with me. And Grass Wonder's like, yeah, sure, I'm friends with her too, but we're worried about you. They end up talking, Grass Wonder and Silent Suzuka, about, like, how their injuries affected each other. But then Grass Wonder's also like, yeah, I had the same injury as you, and now I'm racing and I'm placing really well, so don't worry about it. And I think it helped both Suzuka and Special Week see the light at the end of the tunnel. You also find out that El Condorpasa is currently touring France, like the same kind of way that Silent Suzuka was going to tour America but broke her leg. El Condorpasa is in France. She's kicking butt. So
hell yeah.
They're really proud of her. I'm really proud of her. And then it's time for racing. Race time. Racing time. Special week. A little bit better. A little bit more reassured about Suzuka. Still thinking about her girlfriend constantly. In the I'm worried about her way, not in the I love you way.
Yeah.
Grass Wonder is racing against Special Week this time. They race, and Special Week only gets second. Oof. And Grass Wonder wins. And Grass Wonder is not happy at the end of the race. She's not like, yeah, I won the race. She's like, Special Week, did you even try? Or were you just, like, worrying about Suzuka? Like, is your head in the game? Get your head in the fucking game. After the race, Silent Suzuka, again, not first place at all. Trainer is noticing that Special Week is, like, again, her head's not in the game. And he asks, like, hey, Special Week, what were you thinking of during your race? What is your goal? Like, why do you want to be a running horse girl? And she's like, well, my dream is to run with Suzuka. And then the trainer's like, that's not what you said before.
That's not what you said before.
And then Special Week's like, oh, shit. And the trainer's like, yeah, you gotta focus. Like, if that's your goal, make that your goal, but you gotta focus. Mm-hmm. And you also can't try to be someone else. You can't, like, try to be running just for your friend. You gotta also have, like, this internal motivation. So she's like, gets, like, a little bit of a wake up call. Like, okay, I gotta try to figure this out. Episode 9, Special Week, again, Which again, it's so sweet because it really is like about like they're not humans, but it's like these human emotions, like having your own motivation, but also wanting to do something to make someone else happy. It's just very good. It's a good anime.
Yeah.
Yeah. Episode 9, Special Week immediately gets a call from El Condor Pasta in France. I just the telephones are really long.
Yes, I love the horse girl telephones.
They have to reach their ears on the top of their head. Like, I love how they just did all these weird extra things that, like, you know, like other anime, like, you would be like, have the phone there, even though the ears are up there. No one's gonna care. But
yeah,
the long phone is just like a touch where you're like, yes. Good job.
Like, and it's just like that little extra bit of like thought that they put into the world, and it's hilarious. But also, like, yeah, they would have special horse girl phones because their ears aren't in the same place.
And then, like, whenever they use their cell phones, is only the text or they're on speaker because otherwise they can't do it.
They can't do it. Otherwise, they'd have to carry around these really, really long phones.
It's so good. It's just like these little touches are so good.
Yep.
You find out that El Condor Pasa is doing great overseas. Special Week is like, well, I wish I was like you, El Condor Pasa. You know what you want. El Condor Pasa is like, yeah, I know what I want. And you can tell Suzuka that when I come back, I'll be able to beat her. Even when she recovers. So it's kind of like a less like, aha, she's has a broken leg, but like, I know she's going to get back to full strength, but I can still beat her, which is like very encouraging. Yeah. Meanwhile, Suzuka, the doctors say her leg is completely recovered. Like, she's done all of her physical therapy. She's back to full strength. However, during practice, she's not able to run really fast. And you can kind of tell just because she makes that, like, anime girl flinching face where you're like, oh, it's a very internal struggle, less than, like, a physical struggle. So Trainer is like looking at Special Week, who's still unfocused, looking at Silent Suzuka, who feels like she's dragging everyone down. And he's like, you know what? It's summer. Time for a training camp. So,
check that trope off your list.
Yeah! So they go to their training camp. They are in a really dingy hotel, whereas Team Regal is also having a training camp at like a fancy hotel next door. And the trainer divides all the girls into 2 teams, and he essentially splits all the couples, like one girl's here, one girl's there, and he's like, okay, for the length of this training camp, the other group is your rival. You cannot talk to them, you cannot be friends with them, and when the time comes, you're gonna have to beat them. Ooh. And at this point, it's like kind of a challenge for Special Week because she's just been babying Suzuka. So like this is the first time she's not in the same room as Suzuka, she's not sitting next to Suzuka, and it's like her trying to figure out how she functions mentally without like this dependent relationship going on. So they all do their training, you know, like normal, like exercising, practicing Twister, doing idol dances. And then at the end of training camp last day, the trainer takes them out to the beach and is like, okay, here's what we've been waiting for. You 2 teams are going to race each other in a triathlon. So you're going to swim to that island over there. You're going to bike, and then you're going to run. And then the winning team is going to have dessert at the fancy hotel that Team Regal is staying at on my expense. And everyone's like, okay, we got this. So they start racing. Silent Suzuka and Special Week stay last place the whole time. You can tell that Silent Suzuka is staying last because she's hesitant to go fast. She's scared to go fast. And Special Week is staying last because she doesn't want to leave Silent Suzuka behind, even though they're on other teams.
Yep.
There's a point during the middle of the triathlon where Silent Suzuka like tries to get on her bike, but she falls off immediately, and Special Week starts turning around to help her. And then the trainer shows up, and he's like, you 2 are not doing good. This is not what I asked you to do. I told you that you need to be competitors for this, not just like babysitting each other. If you stop in the middle of a race like this, like that's unacceptable. And you're like, and Silent Suzuka, I can tell that you're only half in this. Like, you know, your heart's in the song and your head's not in the game or whatever. You're not there. So he says then, like, you know what you said your dreams were? You wanted to be a horse that was the best in Japan, and you, Silent Suzuka, wanted to be a horse that caused other people to dream. Well, you want to know what my dream is? My dream is to see both of you competing against each other as best as you can. Not like this. This is pathetic. I mean, not in so many harsh words, because he's except for the weird leg thing, he's really caring about the girls.
Yeah.
And then he's like, hey, Special Week, and I know you want to see Silent Suzuka recover, but you have to understand, for this, she has these inhibitions because, like, she's scared of almost dying. The way you can encourage her is not to sit back and baby her. It's for you to run as fast as you can and to encourage her to catch up to you.
Yeah.
Which you're like, wah.
I just remember this episode actually being really sweet.
It was really sweet, despite like the fact that half of it's just like training camp hijinks. It's like, this is an anime that shouldn't be this good. Just like face value, it shouldn't be this good.
Yeah, I remember that was always a thing. Like, whenever I see people talking about this show online, they're like, why is it so good? I thought this was just supposed to be a dumb gag anime about dumb horse girls. Why am I crying?
Why is it good? So then Special Week's like, okay, I understand now. And she starts running, and Suzuka starts running, and then eventually they like both catch up and surpass all the other girls. And then Suzuka is just thinking to herself, like, I forgot how much fun running is. And Special Week is like, I forgot that this is my goal. It's to push myself, and running alongside Suzuka is a benefit, but it's not the end goal.
Yeah.
And then there's a gag at the end where like all the girls are running really fast and they reach a curve, but they can't like stop themselves fast enough without injuring, and they run into the water.
Womp.
And then they all have their little dinner at the fancy hotel, all of them together, and they're like, yeah, they're doing good.
Good beans.
Yeah, and while they're at the hotel, they are watching TV, and El Condor Pasa is doing like the big race in France. And one of the main competitors in this big race is this horse called Broye, and she's like very like she you know, like long blonde flowy hair. She's like speaks French the whole time, and apparently she is like top horse girl in the entire world.
Number one best horse girl.
Yes. And El Condor Pasa is facing her. And Broye, basically, her personality is she's like a little cheeky. She's very much like, yes, I'm the best in Japan. No other horse girl can keep up to me. But she kind of uses that as a way to like tease the other girls, but not in a mean way, if that makes sense. In the end, El Condor Pasa, Broye, they're like kind of neck and neck, but Broye pushes ahead and El Condor Pasa gets second. But Broye immediately like goes up to El Condor Pasa and shakes her hand. So it's like, oh, they recognize each other.
Yeah.
And then later on, Special Week talks to El Condor Pasa on the phone. And El Condor Pasa is just talking about racing and how much fun it is, even though she lost, and how she can't wait to come back to Japan and see everyone again. And Special Week's like drive to be like the best in Japan is strong again. Because she's like, I know it's about myself. I know me being the best at being me is going to encourage my friend. And also I see what El Condor Pasa is doing overseas, and she's going against these crazy people, and she's happy and she's doing good, and I want to be like that. And you're like, yeah. And episode 10. So Special Week, new drive, new motivation, and she's training like crazy. She does all these CrossFit style things, like carry the big tire, push-ups after training, like training upon training. Some of it that nobody else knows she's doing. She's just like, I want to get so good and so strong because I'm finally, my head's in the game. I got this. And then she races and she ends up 7th place.
Oof.
And she's like, what the hell did I do wrong? And the trainer's like, you are working too hard. You need to take a break. I'm going to send you home to your mom, and you are not allowed to run for a week. You need to just chill out, let your muscles rest.
Ye old burnout.
Ye old burnout. And he's like, you know, all you girls, time for a break. Everyone, let's take a break. We had our training camp. Everyone, take a break, go home. You get little...
Take a break.
Yeah. You get little scenes of all the girls in their houses. Just cute stuff. Meanwhile, Special Week is back at her mom's, like, ranch in Hokkaido. Like, it's not like there's other horses, girls there. It's just, like, a lot of land. She has tractors.
Yeah.
Special Week's mom is a badass. She's just like she's like long blonde hair that she keeps in like a low ponytail, and then she has like a cap and like a leather jacket and ripped jeans. Like she's super cool looking, and she's just kind of like, okay, Special Week, you're home. And Special Week's like, yeah, thank you for picking me up from the train station. I'll run alongside you while you drive home. And she's like, no. She's like, get in the car.
Get in the car, you freaking horse.
So basically, Special Week, forbidden to run at home. Her mom like ties a rope around her like waist that she ties to like a post of the house, being like, if you run, I will know. You will tear the house down and you'll be in trouble. So Special Week's kind of like just laying around being like, but I want to run. I want to train because I want to be the best. I got to go hard, got to go fast. But then because she can't go anywhere, she ends up at the shrine to her birth mom in the house. And in front of the shrine is like a pile of letters that Special Week had sent home to her mom. And you're like, well, and also like at this point, you're like, wow, Special Week has been at this boarding school. But you also realize like a race has like come by twice. So she's been at that school for over a year and she hasn't seen her mom in person.
Yeah, like the passage of time in this show is the one thing that was just like, damn, it's been a while.
It's been a while. So she sees this pile of letters and you find out that her mom reads the letters that Special Week sends home to her other mom, like at the shrine.
Like the shrine, yeah.
Yeah, like every single time she gets the letter. And then also her mom keeps all like the news clippings and articles about her, and she watches every race on TV even though it's expensive for her to go down to see her in person. She tries to keep up like as much as she can. And you're like, "Aw." Meanwhile, Suzuka calls Special Week on the phone. Apparently, Suzuka had her like re-entry into horse racing debut while Special Week was confined to her house, or it's going to have her debut. Sorry, it's going to have her debut like the day after one of Special Week's big races, or like around the time. And how the rest of Spica are doing good. And then it's nearing the end of her vacation, and Special Week's mom gives Special Week a gift, and it's a homemade horseshoe for her to put on her shoes. You're like, oh, this mom, they're so good. And then her mom is like with Special Week, and it's like nighttime. He's like, okay, Special Week, I'll let you run, but just for a little bit, and not to train, just to run around. And so Special Week goes running back in the fields. And Special Week's like, I'm so happy. I have both my moms encouraging me, my birth mom, who's not around anymore, and then my adoptive mom, who's been helping me out, and I'm a really lucky horse girl. And you're like, aw.
The babies.
It's so good. It's like this, like, and it's also like this unconventional family, a single mother, but like it's like positive, you know?
Yeah,
it's nice.
It's cute.
And then Special Week's back at school, and she's back to training. Special Week shows Silent Suzuka the horseshoes her mom made her, and talks about how originally she wanted to be the best horse girl in Japan for her moms, but now it's also just for Silent Suzuka and all of her other friends. And it's like, she's like, yeah, I want to be the best, but also I want to encourage everyone, and I like running. Yeah, and also she's like, and one day I want to run next to you, Suzuka.
iDOL.
Wow. And Suzuka's like, yeah, I actually still want to go back to America when my leg heals, but I want to be able to run next to you when I get back. And then it's time for Special Week to have her first race after visiting home.
Ooh.
And Silent Suzuka is not there to watch the race. The other Spica girls are, because Suzuka is training for her own debut race, like her own return race. Mm-hmm. And then there's cuts during the race between like Suzuka training and Special Week running, and they're talking about like no matter how frustrating it can get, they won't give up. There's a cute scene where Special Week is like, you know, not first place, but she always does the thing where she like goes really fast and wins. And she like Special Week is running, and then she looks over to her side and she imagines Suzuka is there, and then she starts taking off, and it's really cute. And then Special Week wins with a new record, and you're like, aw.
The babies.
The babies. So then episode 11, It starts off with news that Broye, fancy horse lady from Japan, is entering the Japan Cup.
From France.
From France, yes. From France is entering the Japan Cup, which is like an invitation-only race. Special Week was invited to join. That was her next big race. And so you find out, hey, Special Week is going to be racing against Broye and all these other international horses. Big deal.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So basically there's like some tension while like Broye's coming around and everyone's like trying to figure out what's going on. And Broye is like, yes, I will win. I'm doing all these interviews in Japan. El Condor Pasa comes up to Special Week and is like, yeah, I have a list of notes if you want for like, I was going to use these for the next time I had to go up against Broye, but I can lend them to you now since you are. But Special Week's like, no, I want to figure out this strategy on my own. Meanwhile, Suzuka is getting ready for her debut race. And Special Week is like, hey, Suzuka, I know you were hesitant before, but I know you're going to win. And Suzuka's like, I have no inhibitions anymore. I got this. I just want to run and have fun. And you're like, oh.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And then it's race day. Right before the race, Silent Suzuka's in the back and the trainer comes up to her. And he's like, I want to tell you something. The doctor said you might never race again, but Special Week and all the others believed in you, and now look at you. You've pushed the limit. You're better than ever before, and I know you can win because you got this in you.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And Suzuka, there's like a little bit of a montage where she thinks about like her accident and then like her recovery and the training camp and making promises to Special Week, which is very cute. And then race time. Suzuka starts in the back, which is rare. Usually whenever you see her race, she's always the first place. It's never like she starts low. But then the same kind of thing happens where she thinks it's Special Week and then she makes her move and then she gets first place.
Yeah.
It's so cute. And then everyone is like watching and they're crying and like tearing up because like Suzuka, she was like not able to run and then she got first place and everyone's so happy. And then like everyone kind of gets together and they have a party, like not just Spica, but like Regal and like Grass Wonder and Sane Sky. They're all like, yeah, let's celebrate Suzuka. She's back. She's doing so good. Right? Even the trainer's like cheering up, but he's like a little tsundere about it. And then Suzuka like tells everyone like, yeah, this is my start of the promise to be a horse girl, to make people dream, to go to America and to race alongside Special Week. And then it's time for the Japan Cup, Special Week's big race against Broye.
Yeah, boy.
Episode 12, second to last. So Broye is like, in Japan. She's doing all these press conferences. She's training hard in her hotel. Someone asked, like, are you afraid of Special Week because she did so good in her last race? And Broye is like, no, I'm not even concerned about these other horse girls. Whatever. Special Week's mom sees this interview on TV and she's like, what'd you say about my daughter? So because
say that to my daughter's face, motherfucker.
Say that to my daughter's face, motherfucker. So because it's big race, Special Week's mom travels to Japan.
No.
She kind of gets lost, like switching trains the same way that Special Week did in the first episode. So you're like, aw, mother-daughter thing.
Yeah.
She ends up at the racetrack again, same as Special Week. She does not run into Special Week. She, however, does run into Silent Suzuka. Actually, it's kind of funny because there's like some like other people there and they're like trying to like guess who's gonna win the race, and they're like, yeah, I think Broye is gonna win, not Special Week. And then she's like, what did you say? My daughter will definitely win. And then Silent Suzuka comes up and is like, hey, are you Special Week's mom?
You just kind of have that vibe.
You just have that same vibe. Very overprotective mother, but in like I love my daughter and she's the best way. And then her Special Week's mom looks at Suzuka. She's like, oh, you're Silent Suzuka. And Silent Suzuka's like, how did you know? And she's like, all my daughter talks about in her letters is you. And you're like, yeah, because they're in love. The Silent Suzuka and the like introduces Special Week's mom to the trainer. And they're like, you want to go see Special Week before the race? And mom's like, nah, I want to surprise her later. And you're like, okay, sounds good.
Cute.
Meanwhile, backstage, all of Special Week's friends are like it's like they have green rooms because again, it's also an idol anime. So they're all so Special Week's in her green room, and all the other girls are by the door, and they're like should we go in? I want to cheer her on, but I don't want to pressure her. But then El Condo Pasa's just like barges in and is like, hey, Special Week, what's up? And Special Week's like, oh, I'm so excited. Thank you guys for being here to encourage me. Hey, El Condor Pasa, I have a favor to ask you. How do you say have a good race in French? And then Alice like, and whispers something in Special Week's ear. And you're like, oh no.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, she's not going to tell her the right thing.
She's not going to tell her anything. And then right before the race, like very backstage, Suzuka is there to see Special Week off. They don't say anything. It's just the two of them. They just give each other like the look. And then Special Week walks off and you're like, wow, they're psychic girlfriends now.
They can communicate just with anime looks.
Just the anime look. All the horse girls like do their walkout introduction. They're like milling around before the starting gate. Broye like introduces herself to all the horse girls. She kisses Special Week's cheek because that's what they do in France.
Mm-hmm.
And then Special Week kind of just says, instead of saying have a good race, El Condor Pasa taught her to say don't get too cocky. So she just kind of replies that to Broye, and Broye kind of smirks. But Special Week's like all happy, like, yeah, I said have a good race. And then she goes around and says, don't get too cocky, motherfucker.
Bye.
And then she goes and says it around to all the other horse girls who again are like global, so they may or may not speak French. Yeah.
Jeez.
And then it's race time. So Special Week, she's kind of like, she starts off kind of in the middle back section. Broye is kind of behind her and like keeping an eye on everyone else because Broye is like, I want to see when all these girls make their moves.
Yeah.
In the last stretch, Special Week starts taking the lead, and then Broye starts gaining on her, and then it's like kind of like, will Broye win? Will Special Week win? And then Special Week hears Suzuka cheering her on because of course.
With her uber horse hearing.
Her uber horse hearing for girlfriend times. You know, I probably would hear my wife specifically, but that's because she does like the whore.
That one fucking scream
that one noise she does
always makes me laugh.
I would hear her, but then she gains a second wind, and then Special Week wins. She beats Broye.
Yeah.
And Broye doesn't look down about it. She's like, new good horse girl rival. This little baby girl. And then it's time for the live, like the stage live. And Special Week gets a solo on this. It's not just 3 people because I guess she has her own song.
It's special for Special Week.
And then the interviewer is like, hey, now that you could be considered the best in Japan, what do you want to do now? And Special Week says, well, maybe now my goal is to carry everyone else's dream. And then, like, she's thinking of Suzuka. So it's like, wow, they have similar dreams now, even.
I know.
Wow. And then you get Special Week's solo song.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's very cute. It's kind of a little ballady. It's very sparkly. Suzuka's in the audience watching, and she's like, now it's my turn to make your dream come true. And you're like, get married already. And then there's like some time passes, and it's time for the Winter Dream Trophy. And apparently the Winter Dream Trophy is like election-based horse race, I think, the way they describe it. So like the most popular girls get in based off of races they do. And coincidentally, for this last episode, all of the main character girls are in this race.
Because they're the main characters, you know.
Yep, so Special Week, Silent Suzuka, Tokai Teo, Vodka, Scarlet, Gold Chip, everybody. They're all in it. Last race for the last episode, Winter Dream Trophy.
Mm-hmm.
And episode 13. So it's the time before the Winter Dream Trophy. Special Week is sitting in the airport and she's writing a letter to her mom, like talking about like, oh, these are the ones I won and these are the ones I lost, and Winter Dream Trophy's coming up. I'm so happy we all got invited. Spica's doing well. Suzuka went to America and today she comes back. And then Suzuka gets out of the terminal and she's like, oh, you were here for me, Special Week. So Special Week was waiting for Suzuka at the airport, of course.
So this is just like a time skip, and like it's been a whole year.
It's been a year or a period of time, and I guess this is why the Winter Dream Trophy this year is all of them or whatever.
Yeah.
So the trainers like, so then you kind of get scenes, like little wrap-up scenes of all the individual characters, like character arcs. Like you get Trainer thinking about like his failures in the past with raising the girls, but also like gaining Suzuka and Special Week and everyone else. All the couples, you know, quote unquote, have like cute little interactions with each other. So like you get like Daiwa Scarlet and Vodka like just being like going to get shoes together, and then they're like arguing, but then they see two other horse girls, stuff like that. And then, you know, like Goldship and McQueen having some weird Goldship is just kind of creepy to McQueen, but McQueen likes it, so you know. But then right before the race, they have like kind of a parallel scene where like Goldship and the other girls kidnap the trainer, like how Special Week was kidnapped. And they're like, hey trainer, we want to celebrate, we want to thank you for getting us this far, and do you have any plans for how we should win this race as Spica, since we're competing against each other, but also there's Regal girls there. And the trainer's like, there's no plan, just show the girls from Regal what Team Spica's got. And they're like, heck yeah, we'll have fun, we'll kick butt. Yeah. And then it's race day. Winter Dream Trophy. All of the girls are introduced. They're all girls we already know. They're pretty much Team Regal, Team Spica, and then a couple of girls like Saiyan Sky and Grass Wonder, where you're like, I know who they are. And then it's race time. It's a very tight race. All the girls are running really close to each other. Special Week and Suzuka are running next to each other, and it's like we're finally running next to each other, and we're both gonna win because we are running next to each other. We're so happy. Then the OP starts playing while they're running.
Of course it does.
Yeah, of course it does. The trainer starts cheering, but like for all his girls. He's like, I don't know who to cheer for because all of my girls are in here. And then it's implied that there's an 18-way tie.
Yeah, because don't they just like, they just don't even say who wins?
They don't. But like they have like a still frame that makes it look like they're all like dead heat with each other, and you're like, okay. Sure. And then
Jan.
And then it's time for the final live. And all of the girls are doing a full coordinated idol dance on stage because I'm sure they were ready for that.
Yep.
And they like talk about like working harder and like their rivals like help them get stronger, and they're gonna keep smiling no matter what. And while the stage is live is happening, there's another little horse girl watching from like, you know, the audience, and the trainer does the creepy like feel up the leg thing, and she kicks him. I know, but like also it's like, oh, it's like the next generation of horse girls is coming.
Yep, gotta start them young, I guess.
Gotta start them young. And then it's the ending, and that's Uma Musume.
Yay!
But cue the sound music star. After the happenings of Uma Musume Season 1, Special Week King Halo Vodka and Hishi Amazon died.
Oh no!
So unfortunately some of the horses they were based on did pass away because horse lifespans and anime productions don't always line up. So we'll see what happens. I know Season 2's out. I don't know what they're doing without Special Week.
Well, I mean, I'm sure she's still in the
nope,
show.
It's illegal.
Sarah. So I haven't watched the second season, but I'm like just
either.
prepping for this episode. I did go back and like watch a couple clips, and so I have seen like some of the race scenes from the second season, which I think just finished up.
I think so too.
And it looks like I saw like one concert scene, and I'm like, are they gonna do more with the idol stuff in this one? Please.
Who knows?
We talked about it on our Idol podcast.
Yeah.
I hope they do more Idol stuff in Season 2. Like, come on.
I mean, I guess arguably in this world, just the way that people are enjoying these horse races, like it's kind of sports, but it's also kind of idols right? Because they're like, they have best girls and they have uniforms and they're not really on teams. It's so weird. I don't know. So it's almost like an idol show, but the focus is on the sports.
Is on the physical aspect.
Yes.
More than anything else.
Yeah. So, yep. Best girls. I really like Special Week a lot. Like,
she's a good bean.
She's a good bean. She's a good baby. I really like El Condorpasa because it's hard not to.
Yes.
She's so good. I don't know. They're all good. It's hard to not like any of the horse girls.
Yeah, it's just like, again, who gave this show the right to be like actually good?
And it's like the drama doesn't feel like manufactured, right? Like the interactions feel like, yes, these are very, like, even though they're non-human girls running really, really fast, and I am not a runner, right? But like I felt these emotions before. Like, how did you do it? Like, why is it good?
Why is it good?
Why is it good?
Hey, anime, what the fuck?
Why did you make it good? So yeah, best girl is all of them. What about you, Star? Who are your favorites?
Well, just like visually and just going off the vibes, I really like Vodka. We've already said this.
Yeah.
Because like she gives me Makoto vibes. I'm not a huge fan of her racing outfits. So I'm not sure if I would ever cosplay that one. But like she's got like the black hair. She's like short black hair. She's cute. Also just like going off of looks, I actually really like Gremlin Child. What's her name?
Tokai Teo.
Yeah,
she's good.
Cute.
She's also a good character.
Yeah,
I know.
Like I didn't like her too much. I was kind of indifferent on her at first, but like I actually really adore her character. Like if I was gonna I'm sorry, Sarah. If I was gonna cosplay any of them now, I would probably want to do her like race outfit.
Heck yeah, it is
it's
very
got, like, the
cute.
gold trim. Oh, I love it.
Also, it's very funny because like whenever you saw art of the anime, they would always have like Special Week, Silent Suzuka, and then Tokai Teo in the center, and you're like, Tokai Teo is not necessarily on the same level of screen time, but sure, she's cute. I accept it.
Sure. Okay.
But she's kind of the most idol-y of all of them, so I guess that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oops. My preferences are shining through.
The idol preferences.
Oopsie.
So yeah, I hope everyone is enjoying the Kentucky Derby. It's so funny. I forgot. This is just a quick insert. I think I told you this, Star. But my mom.
Oh yes, you did. But tell our readers.
My mom
listeners.
was here the other day. My mom was here, and she starts talking about like horse racing, and I'm like, Mom, I know a lot about horse.
Oh my god.
And she took the concept of Uma Musume surprisingly well. She's like, I want to be a horse girl. I'm like, yeah.
You freaking weeb.
I love my mom. She's great. So yeah, Star, do you want to drop any hints for our next show?
Yeah, sure. So we've changed things up a little bit since the last time we dropped hints. Which was in the previous episode, just because like after we recorded that episode, we went through and we like actually figured out our schedule for the next few months. And so we moved a few things around. So our very next, so Sarah did her solo show today. And then next week is going to be, or next episode is going to be a me solo episode of a show that I just kind of watched because I wanted to. And I ended up enjoying it quite a bit. I'm excited to talk about it. It's not, so like, it's one of those shows where like the word idol is never said throughout the entire show. But you look at it and you're like, this is a fucking idol show, you know?
Yes. We did our idol chart.
Yeah, so this is like idol neutral, I would argue.
Idol neutral.
Like they treat them very much like idols, but they are not idols. They are insert name of other thing type of performer that they are.
Mysterious hint.
Yeah, so they are performers. They sing, they dance on stage, but there's other factors in it that make them not necessarily idols.
Oh, look forward to that.
Yeah, and then after that is the show that we had originally planned to be for next week that we pushed back a week. But that's going to be one that I still got to watch the show for that one, but it's going to be good. I'm excited. True, like, idol lawful idol, anime
Lawful idol. And it's
purist. That's the word.
Idol Purist, and it's a relatively recent release, so that's your hint there.
Yeah. It's one that like we wanted to do as soon as it was finished, but we had a couple of other shows in the lineup, so now we're finally freaking doing
Can't miss the Kentucky
Hype.
Derby.
Yeah, the Kentucky Derby is a national holiday for our podcast now. I cannot believe you.
Can't
Believe you've done this.
Hey, Star, if people want to find us online, where can they find us?
They can go to our website where we have like links of all of our stuff. I actually updated it recently with our new character art. Wow. So that is idoldays.card.co. So that's idoldays.carrd.co is our website. And then Sarah, we also have social media. What's our social media?
We are on Twitter and Instagram at IdolDaysPod. That's at IDOLDAYSPOD. We post cute fan interactive things there, and we also have links to our Discord on both our website and social media, where you can talk to us more directly.
Join our Discord. We talk about idoloos.
Mm-hmm. So, this has been Idol Days. We've been Lady. See you next live. Bye.
Bye.
Horses.
Horses.